You got to be able to reciprocate. You can't just give. You got to be able to give, give and take. Today I'm making you a meal, tomorrow cook for me.
What if you have a spouse who comes home, don't want to talk for the first 20 minutes, leave me alone?
I'm not going to get mad at you. I've learned to accept that sometimes some people need that time. I'm not going to get mad at you because you've come home when you're tired. Of course, say hello. How are you? How's your day? Greet me. Yes. If you don't greet me, that's a different story.
Do you believe you can change your spouse? Let's start there.
I think the person has to want to change.
Okay.
To change. I can't change a person unless they want to change. But I believe when you enter a new relationship, we all change. You have to change because you have to adjust to the new ways of living with this person, your new partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Marriage, the podcast. We're on episode 11 of our podcast, and we've come this far. We're thankful that you've joined us. We're thankful that you're subscribing. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the time that you spent. The comments, they're really good, and we're happy that, people are enjoying and they're being blessed. Today we've got a very good guest, a very good friend of mine. It was difficult for me to get hold of her, but she's eventually here. She's changed a lot of things in my life, and she's pushed me to where I am at the moment, and I can't wait to hear what she's going to talk about. And we're here now, and let me introduce her. Terry.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you.
Finally.
Oh my God. It's taken a long time to get you here.
Taken a long time, but I'm finally here.
Finally here, and you're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how can I change my spouse, and I know it's a difficult topic to talk about, but it's one of those things where it's not about how you can change your spouse, but it's how you can live with them how they are, so to speak, and it's more of how you change yourself for them, if you like. So we're just going to go through points, and I just want to hear your views, and I will also chip in. I'll also tell you my views from a man's point of view, if it's possible to change your spouse, or if it's possible to just live with their flaws and and let God change them as you are. And again, obviously, we look at things from a biblical point of view, we look at things from a marriage point of view, and also we look at things from a secular point of view. When you're in a relationship, it doesn't necessarily have to be you're married to them or you believe in the Bible. It's more just man and woman. Obviously, if you're living with the person, it works more that way. So, do you believe you can change your spouse? Let's start there.
I think the person has to want to change.
Okay.
To change. I can't change a person unless they want to change. But I believe when you enter a new relationship, we all change. You have to change because you have to adjust to the new ways of living with this person, your new partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. So, change has to happen. There's no way you're going to remain the same way you were as a single person as you would be if you were in a marriage or if you're in a relationship. So change has to happen.
Do you think change is a good thing?
Definitely change is a good thing. You have to change to evolve, to get better, to grow individually and together as well as a couple. You have to change.
And is it, because I think there's a different episode I spoke about, do you have to settle for less? And it kind of intertwines with this. When you meet your spouse, do you believe that the things you see in them and you think, I can live with this, or I'm going to have to change because of them, or I'm just going to have to throw them under the carpet and assume that, they'll change themselves?
Assuming that they'll change isn't a good thing, because what if they don't change? And if you see the red flags at an early stage, I think it's better you address them at an early stage. And if those early few months after meeting and, maybe if you've expressed, like, maybe there's certain things you're not so happy about, and probably he's also done the same thing. If you both can't adjust to those changes, then clearly you're not going to be able to, have a holy matrimony. You're not going to have a very comfortable relationship because you'll always be fighting about those things. And change has to happen for the two of you to grow as a couple. How are you going to make me happy in certain areas if I've expressed some things and you're not doing them correctly. And the same way, if you've expressed something to me and I'm still entertaining those things and not listening to what you've expressed to me, saying, well, I'm not happy about this or I'm not happy about that, and I'm just carrying on, that means I don't really care about you, number one, you know. And I can't carry on living that way. I might as well go and get another man who's going to take me as reckless as I am and live my life.
And do you think there's a spouse who changes more than the other?
It can happen.
Okay. I don't mean, I know women always women have more of the burden because they have the children, the body evolves, or, you know, they probably have to spend X amount of years at home with the children when the man goes to work. So you go that bit of, if you're a career person, you might have that bit of 10, 12, 13 years where you are home looking after the children, where you're not working. Yeah. So that in itself is a change, which you're probably thinking, oh, hello.
2 years is a change, let alone 13 years.
Yeah.
Having a child on its own is a big change, completely big change. And that can take a toll in a relationship, big time, especially in a marriage, because the time that you used to spend together is no longer there. Every minute, every hour is gone to the child. It's very difficult to get that time together to spend maybe date nights or whatever that you used to do before the child came. It's very difficult because all the time goes on to the child, but it's important that couples definitely make that time. You'll end up losing yourself as a couple because now you don't have that time anymore. You lose yourself, you lose the essence of why the two of you got together. Before that child came, there's a reason why you got together, to consummate that child to happen. So it's difficult. It's a very difficult situation, and it's different for every single couple. I can't speak for everybody, but it's something that both, you know, the husband and the wife have to make the time, the adjustment. That's why they say it takes a village. Sometimes you have to involve grandparents, friends, brothers, sisters, whatever, to come in and sometimes maybe ask for an hour a week to say, can you watch the child or children, so that me and my husband or me and my wife can have some time. I believe that 1 hour can make a big difference. Otherwise, as time goes, weeks go, months go, you're drifting apart more and more and more. Mothers are busy with their children, or vice versa. There's some dads who are at home, and mothers go back to work, and dads are stay-at-home dads. And she's busy with her career, working 9 to 5 or more than that sometimes. And dad's at home, busy with the children. Mum doesn't even know how to maneuver the child anymore because she's not there. The child is growing and she's missing all the milestones. It's important to have time for each other. Honestly, it's important. Very important.
Do you talk about this before? Because I realized, like you said earlier, about you see the red flags, but I know people who are even close to me that you saw the red flags in the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know that this person is gonna be like this, and you're like, okay. I don't know, well, will I be able to live with this? Will I be able to change them? Will they be able to adopt to my way of doing things? But you just overlooked it, and then you went into the relationship, and now you're here. You're thinking now, why don't they change? So what do? You just now live with it, because now you're thinking, you either live with you or leave, but living is not really an option at the minute. So how do you alleviate the amount of stress? Because there's going to be stress. Because I know there's places where, okay, if you're like in a Christian setting, for instance, let me just pose it this way. You don't live with the person before you marry them. Ideally, that's what we're told anyway. So you end up living with them after you get married. After the honeymoon, you move in together, and then now you see all these traits, you see all these flaws. Suddenly they were not there before, or they were hiding, and you're like, okay.
Stress.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do then?
Oh my goodness.
You're already into it now.
I say, before you get married, Christian or not, set your standards. If they're not meeting them, forget about it. Because it's you that's going to be in the house. Forget family, forget your pastors, forget your mom, your dad, whatever it is. You're the one who's going to be in the house. You're the one who's going to be crying in the bathroom by yourself. You know, set those standards before. If that man doesn't meet them, or the woman, forget. I believe if you're a Christian and you're trusting God for a good partner, and God has brought you someone, and you believe this is the one that God has brought for you, those red flags will not even be there, or they will be able to be adjusted because the man or the woman will be able to accept your requests and be able to say, well, my partner has requested me to be able to do this, that, and the other, or not to do this, that, and the other, and adjust and accordingly to whatever it is that you requested. And as time goes, I believe they'll be eliminated slowly. No one changes overnight. It takes time. So we also have to have patience for the person to change. However, change has to come. Red flags, if they're there from the beginning and you ignore them, it's going to be a problem for you. So you have to tackle them from before. Give yourself time. Date the person. No need to rush. I think, especially our African parents, they believe, you work it out in the house. No such thing. We're living in a different time. And maybe back in the day when they were growing up, our mothers, our grandmothers and grandparents and so forth, great-grandparents, those, there's some of them had arranged marriage, and you just learn to live with your husband. Whereas now the times have changed. We're living in a completely different times. I believe in dating. I believe in meeting a person, getting to know them, asking all the relevant questions, and ticking the boxes that you feel are right for you, because it's your life as well. You're not just getting married to say, I've got a ring on my finger, I'm wearing the white dress. This is a life you're giving away. Like, you're going to join yourself in holy matrimony in one union. Therefore, you've got to at least tick 80%, and we'll meet 100%. In that 20%, we'll figure it out and work things out. But I'd say make sure you date that person. Make sure you get to know them. Ask the relevant questions. In that time of dating, let them know what you're expecting from a man, so that when you're in the house or in the marriage, they're not surprised to say, well, you were not like that before when we used to be just boyfriend and girlfriend. Now you're my wife, you're acting different. No, it's got to be the same. I believe. This is my opinion anyway. Hey, ask the questions, man. You have to.
2 reasons why you might want your spouse to change. You might want your spouse to replicate your actions. I see this a lot, as in, I want things, the cutlery put in a certain way. I want, when we wash the dishes, we put them away, or I cook, you clean. I put the clothes on the area, you put them down. You want them to replicate your actions. It's something like, so what if they don't do that? Now what happens? Are you going to be angry about it, or are you going to be expecting them now? Honey, can you do this? What would be what's your experience? What would be your advice? What do you think you would say to that?
I think every household has got its sort of culture, how they do things, and to the point that you're living together, I think you already know how you do things. Yes, you may want your wife to do a certain things certain way. I make my bed as soon as I come out the bed or something, or you got to wash the dishes as soon as you eat. Other people will say, well, let's just finish cooking and everything, then we'll do everything together. Well, I think you know your spouse, and you know who you're living with, and you know how this person does things, and you have to just adjust to each other's ways. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Not saying that you shouldn't wash the dishes after you finish all the cooking, but at the same time, you can wash them as you're going along. But some people just say, well, let me just do it at the end. Why should we just do it? Let's relax, I think you just have to learn to balance yourselves. If you know your partner likes to wash and go, just wash and go to keep the peace. Because these are the small things that brings drama to the relationship. Small, tiny things. What did you do? Why you left the sink? You know what I mean? You left your glass in the sink, or whatever. There's no need for that. If it's possible, just clean. It takes 2 seconds, 30 seconds. Just do it. Get it out the way. I know there's other things apart from just doing dishes, but there has to be some sort of understanding of how to do things around the house. If we're getting up at a certain time, we get up, take a shower, clean the house, whatever. There has to be a routine that you both can work with. If someone says, I don't get up before 12 o'clock on a Saturday because I'm working all day, and you know that maybe they are working all day, then maybe give them that time, But if they're not and they're just being lazy, that's a different story, But I think also that's a discussion that needs to be had between a couple. Figure out how you're going to run your home. How are you going to be able to maneuver the household chores? If I'm cooking, you're cleaning. If I'm hoovering, you're making the bed. I don't know. Whatever it is that works best for you. Some people don't like to cook and they prefer to do the dishes. So if that's your strong point, then let's work with that, you know, and find a balance in your household so that there will be peace. Otherwise, small things like that will bring the house upside down.
Yeah, it's good you say that, but I think I've got not personal experience, but I know people who are like this thing they call OCD. It could be the man or the woman, you know. So mostly cleaning, tidying up, putting things a certain way. So it's very difficult for them to want to settle for less or be, nah, they're not as clean as I am, so I'm gonna go down to their level. You know, no, I want them to come up to my level. You know, and my level is, you know, iron clothes like this, make it like, I know my dad used to be one of those because my dad was in the police force.
Well,
and the trousers until when you put it down, it stands by itself.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And who left this here? I left it here. Why did you move it? And then you meet a spouse who's similar like that. You're not like that. So,
oh dear.
Exactly. You know, there's those kind of situations where you found that, and then you find the spouse kind of gets angry because you're not compliant, you're not being how they, and they think, oh, you're not being sensitive. Oh, why did you leave it like this? You know, oh, you're not being sensitive to my needs. Oh, I like it like this. And now you're starting to walk on eggshells because you're like, okay, I'm really trying to please my spouse. I can't get up to their level. You know, that's when now you think your spouse is trying to change you. Do you know what I mean?
It does happen. People do have OCD and all that. Sometimes I can be like that. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes if I've left something a certain way,
I want it to be that way.
But it's very difficult to do that when you have people living in your house. You're not just by yourself. For example, I've got kids. So naturally, you can make the bed and come back 5 minutes later and someone's been jumping on it. You just have to accept your environment and who you're living with. If you have a military style person in the household who likes to iron certain ways or do things, then you knew that when you got there, didn't you?
Yeah,
it's no surprise. Why are you surprised that this person, you've married them? You decided to be with this person. You like that behavior on them. So why are you surprised? Adapt. Maybe join and you know, do things on military time. It may help you. I don't know. You know, it just adjust. You know the person. You knew the person when they got there. So you can't say that you're not meeting my needs or you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. Yes, maybe there could be a bit too much sometimes. However, talk to them in a nice way. Babe, just calm down a little bit. It's okay. You know, you can relax. Yeah, you can be military sometimes, but sometimes also chill out and just let's calm things down. Rub their back. Do something. Give them a kiss. They'll relax. No one is that tough. You know, find their weak spots and just calm them down. They'll iron normally.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, calm them down. Sometimes it's not that serious. Sometimes I have to remind myself this as well because I have 3 boys at home plus my husband, which means there's 4.
4 men.
Yes, and I'm the only lady in the house. So there are certain things in the house where I may want them to be a certain way, and it's just not going to happen. And I've had to learn to just let it be. Enjoy the moments. Let them be free to do what they need to do. However, when it's cleaning time, it's cleaning time. And even my boys know that. Themselves, sometimes they will know that, okay, can I do this to help or whatever? They get involved. But when there's time to just relax. You know, let the dishes be. They'll get washed. No one's going to just leave it there all day. They'll get washed eventually, but
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. Sometimes you just got to chill. But then there's times when you got to clean up. You know, you can't be messy. You can't be having a messy, dusty house or whatever. But, hey, you know, sometimes you just enjoy the moments. The kids want to play. The husband wants to relax. Let him. Who cares? You know, but when the time comes, now you need to get up. Do your chores, honey, please. Thank you very much.
You come from different backgrounds. I think I've seen this a lot because the way I want things done is not the way my spouse wants things done. They've come from a totally different background, totally different upbringing. What is important, what is sensitive to you might not be sensitive to them. So you kind of have to have a level ground because they're like, oh, okay, like you said there, it's not the end of the world. You know, we can do this, chill out, and, calm down. We'll do this at another time. And for them, the appetite, no, I need it done now. So different backgrounds, different family upbringing, and maybe also traumas when you're growing up can constitute a lot of the way a person is and the way they want to do things. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's quite important there to want to know how your spouse is and to adapt to, not trying to change them as such, but to adapt to your way or they adapt to your way so that you kind of have a happy home. And so saying that when you're saying you relax a bit, and do you not think that then you're changing for them?
No, I'm saying that you should allow them to, you should calm them down. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but you're changing really, because you're saying, oh, you know what, I'm not going to be as uptight as I am. I'm going to be a bit complacent. I'm going to be a bit,
No, I'm not going to complain. I'm just trying to
Complacent.
relax my partner so that they don't have to be so uptight with things. I understand that there's, upbringings, trauma, different cultures. There's so many different things. And this may not work for everybody. I'm just talking about myself and how it is in my household. But all things happen. All those things happen in every household. Again, you have to be able to take time to get to know your person before marrying them. These things will be a surprise to you in the marriage because you didn't get to know them. But if you knew them and took time to spend with them, you would know that this person has got trauma, has had issues with their childhood, so-and-so, whatever happened, school, friends, whatever, heartbreaks, you would know. And yes, they could be dealing with it while they're with you, but it wouldn't be a surprise like, why are you behaving like this? That means I didn't take time out to know you before or what? I don't understand. You know what I mean?
So about other things like meeting your needs emotionally, financially, probably. Yeah, financially, you probably talk about that more. You talk about that. I'm sure people talk about that before they get married. Emotionally, sexually, and how do you explain your spouse wanting more of your time than you wanted? Because it's one of those where you're married now. It's not, and you've got the kids and you're tired and you've been running around the house, and your spouse comes in and they want time with you. They want, and you haven't got that and you can't give them that. And now you find that now brings stress comes in as a result. So, and they're not understanding why you're tired. They're not understanding why you don't want to give them. They're understanding that even them, you've been working with the kids, but I've been working too, Now I'm at home. I want a bit of me time, So
I think that's the difficult part when it comes to relationships or marriages, because everybody's working somehow. There's no, I'm at home, so I'm relaxing, or you're at work, so you don't know what's happening at home. Everybody's working in their own way, and everybody's stressed in their own way, trying to figure the day out. I think we have to understand each other and know that, yes, my partner is at home. However, I know that there's A, B, C, D, E to do. Being at home is not easy. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Matter of fact, I would say it's more harder than even doing a 9-to-5 job, because you don't get no breaks. There's no lunch break. There's no tea break. There's no whatever. You're just from morning to night. Nothing. You can even go without realizing if you've put any water in your mouth. It can be like that sometimes, especially when you've got more than one child at home, especially. Yeah. Even one child can be a lot. So imagine if you've got more than that. It's a lot of work. I think the couple, you have to understand each other, and you have to find a common ground where you can both find time for each other. Maybe if you've been busy for 3-4 days in a week, try and figure out a way to find a nanny or get some sort of help from family or something to just give you that time. Okay, some people may say, well, I don't have no family. It's just me and my partner and our children. Then maybe just take you and the kids out as well. Let's go out to eat. Let's go, go to Nando's or any other place that you both like to eat. Take the kids out to the park, whatever it is. Let them play, have some moments. Do those sensual things. Hold hands, touch, kiss. They bring you closer together. It does make a difference to do those things. And but if I'm just coming home, I'm tired, I can't be bothered and whatever, and not even find time to hug your partner, you don't know what that partner has gone through that day. They could have been at home crying or at work in tears behind their desk or whatever. And, someone has pissed them off. Just embrace them. How was your day? Give them a kiss, a hug. It just takes that load off. Let them know that, you know what, forget about the world. You're at home now. Even though at home it's also got another madness. But you know what, at least this is a place where you can rest your head and know that everybody in this place, in this house, we all love you. We're all here for you no matter what happened out there. Let's just relax. Myself, I've had a bad day, but it's okay. Let's talk about it. How did it go? Maybe find time to pray as well. Find time to pray. Let God into your relationship. Let God into your marriage, into your home. And He'll help you maneuver those hard times, those tough times, and give you wisdom to know what to do as a couple. To do those things that you need to do to keep your marriage healthy and sexy and fresh. you know, because, you know, as time goes on, you've been in marriage for such a long time. Maybe you're not as excited anymore or whatever. You've been there, done that. But there has to be something that keeps the spark going. That spark has to be there because there's a reason why you're still there together until now with the kids. The kids came for a reason. You know what I mean? So let's keep the spark going. Somehow, you got to figure it out somehow as a couple. But to push someone away isn't the answer because you're not even helping yourself. You have to be able to allow the embrace from your partner, allow the hugs, allow the kisses, the touching, you know, whatever it is. Sometimes it could just be a home-cooked meal. You know, someone's going to come home, they're hungry. Let me cook them my favorite meal today. I know, again, it's not as easy as it sounds. I make it sound like it's so easy, but it's not that easy. And it may not be that way every day. But we all have to make the effort. Try. You have to try. Marriage is about working in the marriage to do things sometimes out of your way when you don't want to. But those rewards come because, you know, your partner will feel the love and reciprocate. And it's all about reciprocation. You got to be able to reciprocate. You can't just give. You got to be able to give, you know, give and take. You know, today I'm making you a meal, tomorrow cook for me. Today, you know, I'm giving you a hug, tomorrow give me a hug. I don't know, whatever it is.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah.
I like that. That's really good. I mean, what if you have a spouse who comes home, don't want to talk for the first 20 minutes, leave me alone. What I had there. How do you deal with that? Because that can also cause a lot of stress, because if you come home and you're stressed out and you've been at home, or you both come home at the same or whatever time and you're stressed, you don't want to talk, the spouse starts to think that maybe you're the cause of why you're not talking to me, why, you know.
Again, it comes down to knowing your partner. If you know your partner doesn't talk, let's say when they come home straight away, or maybe when they wake up first thing in the morning, they don't speak for 10 minutes at least. They need time to regroup and actually wake up their brain. Then give them that. You know, give them that time. What's 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes? Just tell them, babe, just go take a shower if you're feeling tired and stressed. By the time they come out of the shower, no doubt they'll be fresh. Their mind would have woken up. Their brain would have been, you know, awake again and realize, okay, well, I'm home now. What's going on today? You know, that kind of thing. But I'm not going to get mad at you. I've learned to accept that sometimes some people need that time. I'm not going to get mad at you because you've come home when you're tired. Of course, say hello. How are you? How's your day? Greet me. Yes. If you don't greet me, that's a different story. But if you just need some time to just go and freshen up or do what you need to do, go ahead. If you wake up in the morning and you need that time to wake up your system, go ahead. You know, as long as we greet each other, good morning, whatever it is, and then you need to do what you need to do, get yourself ready maybe for the day and you just need that time, go ahead. What is it going to do me to just shut up for 10 minutes and let them be? Do you know what I mean? Am I going to start the day and start shouting at you? Why are you not talking to me? You didn't say nothing to me as you came in. Why? As long as you're good, you've greeted each other, you're good, I can see you're fine. And then if you understand that that's your person and that my person needs time, let them be. As long as that person also needs to understand your way as well when it comes to certain things. If I'm quiet and you know that's not normally like her, she doesn't normally just keep quiet. There's a reason. There's something not right today. Come and find out. What's up? Are you okay? What's going on? That's not like you to be like that. Do you know what I mean? If you know your person doesn't talk and then suddenly they're just walking up and they start ranting, maybe they had a bad dream that night. Do you know what I mean? What happened? Are you good? Yeah or no? You know? It's true. You know, if you know your person doesn't talk and then suddenly they start talking this morning, oh my God, you never guess what? Blah, 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 blah. That means they must have had something happen at nighttime. Maybe they had some bad nightmare or, I don't know, a very good dream or a very bad dream, who knows, but they want to share it. Accept it, receive it, listen, be attentive, and pour into that person, you know. If they also don't wake up and say anything, it's okay because you know that's their normal routine. It's all good. Start the day in peace. Choose peace at all times, I say.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. Oh my God. So, and what if back to this thing of trying to change your spouse? If you're married to this person and you marry them and they do things, okay, I want to watch football, I watch football, I do this a certain way, I read the newspaper, you know. So do you just let them be like that, or you're like, you know what, you're not married, you need to, you know, some things need to change now that we're married. You can't carry on being.
If that's their hobby, why would I change it?
You're not trying to change, you're trying to tell them to be a bit more sensitive. Because that could be more of their thing, that could be more personal, that could be, you know, they're being selfish.
it depends what it is that what you're talking about. If it's watching a game and you know this person loves this particular team that's playing, sit and enjoy the game with that person, right? If it's too much football all day, then that's a different story. Then of course I would also complain, like, okay, we've watched 90 minutes of the game, are we still watching it after whatever they call it? What do they call it? Extra time? I don't know, whatever it is. And the discussions and all that. Come on, it's too much now. I would complain. Like, okay, can I have some time now, or can I watch something else? I would definitely say. But if it's a game and it's an important game that they're watching, it's their team and they love football and that's their thing, and you know this, let them be. That's their time of joy. You know what I mean? No doubt when that team wins or whatever the outcome, that joy will also translate to you. It will transfer that energy onto you.
Absolutely.
Now you frustrated him not to watch the football game because you want to cuddle, and he's frustrated. Even the cuddle will feel weird. That cuddle won't even be warm, it will be cold. Why do you need that for? Let the man watch the game. Find something else. Go and talk to your friends. Do you know what I mean? Go and read the Bible. Do something in that 90 minutes. That's your time. You know what I mean? Or get involved in the game. Ask questions. You know, even if it's not the full 90 minutes, but get involved. Get to know his hobbies, and then bring him into your hobbies as well, in the things that you like to watch. I do that all the time with my husband. He sits there and he watches Housewives and all this kind of stuff. Not the full episode, but he will like, no, this is so and so, this is so and so, what's happening
Is
here?
it because you watch them?
Because I watch.
Oh, wow.
So he will sit and watch sometimes with me, and as I said, not the full episode maybe, but he will know what's going on, and he will know, okay, this is her show, let her watch. In that time, maybe he may do other things if he doesn't want to watch the episode, or sometimes he'll just be there, but not saying he'll watch every single episode, but he'll just be there. And it goes the same way with me, and it comes to like the games and stuff. Like I said, I've got boys at home, so they will be watching football all the time, and I've learned to accept the games, and I've learned to wear the jerseys and, you know, do all those things. So, you know, sometimes you may find something out about yourself that you didn't even know was in you when you allow other things to be introduced to you. Now, probably in the past, I would never have been like into football, and I'm not saying I am, but you know, I can sit and watch the game. I can go to a game. I can embrace the culture of football, and because of the people that I love, you know, they do those things, so therefore I adapt to their change. But when it comes to a certain point, it's like, okay, now mom needs my time. Can I have my time now to do what I need to do? And they accept that, and they know it, and we just adapt as time goes. When there's like Euros or any of these kind of tournaments, I know that there'll be games and games and games, so I let them be. Because what am I going to do? Complain and just create havoc in the house? You know, I'm not going to be that person who brings tensions to the kids or to my husband. Let them be. You know?
So, and do you think then, saying that, do you think that your spouse, they need to involve you in everything that they do? They need to tell you everything in terms of, if before they got married to you, they were always like themselves. They are very in their own cocoon. They don't share things easily out there with other people. And now they met you and they find it difficult with that. Would you have a problem with that? Them
If
not
they don't
sharing
share
everything.
things.
Yeah, and they might not necessarily be important things, but just they're not sharing everything with you. And you come from that, you didn't tell me about that. You didn't tell me about, why didn't you share with me? Why was that? Do you not think that was important for me to know?
Well, sometimes they're not going to tell you every single part of their life, but as time goes and you sit and talk and you get to know each other more and more, other stories will come up, won't they? Because I don't feel like you can tell the person everything in like one sitting on a date. You go on a date and tell them everything. As time goes, you get to know yourself, your story, how you grew up, your family, your siblings, your parents, grandparents, where you went to school, your friends at school, you know, and all these things that come along, relationships in the past, blah, blah, blah. You know, all these things come up. However, I believe those important information that the person needs to know, your partner needs to know, should have been told at an early stage, or find a time to be able to tell your partner about those things, because you don't want to find out from someone else that, this and this happened.
Or you find out at a later stage when it should have been told in the beginning.
Yes. However, unless there's a reason why I wasn't told or it wasn't important, maybe, but I don't see, it depends on the situation, what it is that they're supposed to have told me. if it's family and, you know, family orientated, or yourself concerning you particularly, maybe something to do with growing up or whatever, then I believe you would have already told me. Unless there's something very private or very, like, I don't know, the family only knows or something. Those secrets, and probably there are secrets in the family that not everybody knows, right?
Yes.
It's not everybody tells you everything.
No.
There's some things in the family that people don't talk about. And maybe they're trying to find a time when they're comfortable with you to tell you, like, you know what, this and this is going on, or this and this is my family, blah, blah, blah. Some things are family secrets, and keep them that way. Sometimes you don't want to know. What are you trying to know for?
Yeah. Right.
Is it going to help you?
No, probably not.
If it's not going to help you, there's no need to know. You know? But then again, you know, it all depends on the situation. You know?
Man, we got to wrap it now, man. We got to wrap it up.
Time's up.
Oh, well. Yeah, well. And we can go on and on, isn't it?
We can.
My God.
Maybe we need to do a part 2.
Yeah, we need to do a part 2.
Yeah.
You know? We need to do a part 2. I need to get back in. We need to talk about more things.
Yeah.
You know, and take it from there.
I'll be happy to share.
Yeah. Share your experiences, share things that, you know, just general stuff, really. Doesn't necessarily have to be something you've gone through, but just general stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have you. It is good to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Good to see you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Like, subscribe. Join us on all socials, and we'll see you on the next task. Bye for now.